Hey everybody, Chris here from It's Meat Made, and today I am answering your questions. I'm going to be talking about watering down your paints, a common question I keep getting asked, so here's your video. So before we get into it, I just first want to say thank you to all of my subscribers. You guys have been amazing, and this is the reason why I'm doing this video today. Because I have been getting so many great questions in the comments of all of my videos. Sometimes it's really hard for me to just type out this long description in a comment. So I'm going to start making these short videos about some of the questions that all of you are asking. So if you have any questions, leave them below. I have gotten multiple questions from you guys about thinning down your paints, watering down your paints, and just various different things if you're using acrylic or other types of paints. So watering down your paints really is determined by what type of paints you're using. Yeah, we have a lot of different acrylic paints out there in the hobby, but I'm specifically talking about, are you using craft paint or are you using more of a hobby paint? So I have right here this lava orange from the Army painter, and it's fantastic. I love their paints, but I don't really need to water them down much. Then I have this Americano that I bought at my local hobby store. It was a 99-cent bottle, and I do have to water these down because it's a lot thicker. So it's not really meant for some of these smaller models and 3D prints just right out of the bottle. So you have to really think about what you're using. Because if I'm watering down this, I'm using a wet palette. If I'm watering down this, I'm using a paint tray. Like I'm just pouring some in a little cup. So when I'm talking about watering down your acrylic paints, I'm usually talking about these craft paints. Because there's these other ones. These are the more hobby paints, and these are more expensive, and they're actually a different dilution. So you actually don't have to water these down as much. I still do, but I use a wet palette, or I'll use something else, and we'll get into that. So I want to make sure we understand the distinguishing factor between craft paints, hobby paints. So the next thing is water. So do we just use water? What about paint thinner? What about flow improver? What about medium? All good questions. And I don't know. I'm just kidding. I totally know. So when you're adding water to your acrylic paints, you're essentially increasing the flow rate of that paint. And what does flow rate even mean? When painting 3D models, an increased flow rate essentially means you get to cover a lot more of your model with that little bit of paint because the flow rate has been increased. So if you have ever used paint straight out of a bottle and you feel like you just keep dipping it in, paint, dip, paint, then your flow rate is not very high at all. So if you add water to this, then you're going to understand that you can actually bring that paint a lot farther out and you're not having to constantly dip back and forth. Which brings us to the next question. How much water should I add? Well, that's the part where I can't really tell you that. And it's not because this is like some big secret that I just don't want to unveil. I honestly don't know. It's really dependent on your paints. So I'll give you an example. I have this folk art neon paints that I use for different little highlights of different things. It's fantastic. I only have to put maybe 1 drop of water and it works great. But I still don't use it straight out of the bottle. Then I have this. This is a Starlight Gold from Folk Art. I love this gold because it's just a muted gold and you can use it for a lot of stuff. And especially after a wash, I'm gonna stop babbling. But I've got this. This is thick. I almost have to put it at 50-50, like half water, half paint. And that seems extreme, but this thing, I don't know what it is about this pigment, but it comes out as like almost a paste. So I can't tell you how much. You really have to just kind of get a feel for it. My advice to you is get an eyedropper, or if you can find some little syringes and stuff. And I can put some links to these in the description below to help you out. But just look around, see if you've got something. And just add 1 drop at a time. And then mix it. Nope, still too thick. Add another drop. Mix it, still too thick. and you want a nice flow. So use something to test on to really see if it's actually flowing well. And just keep doing that until you get a feel to where, like, when I have about this much, I know for this paint, it's about 10 drops. That's a ton, by the way. It's usually like 2 to 3 drops. Yeah, if you're using one of these, 10 drops in maybe this part, I'll add 1 to 2 drops, sometimes 3, depending on what it is. So this, I might add 4 or 5 drops. Like, I can't tell you exactly how much. But to give you an idea, like, I'm not saying, like, oh yeah, add 30 drops here, not in this area, and I need to clean my palette. The next thing I will say, look at the actual thing you're painting before you start watering it down. Sometimes you want to go a little farther than you're comfortable with, because say if there's a ton of little nooks and crannies in like the hoodie or things like that, and you really need to have that paint flow, then you might actually want to water it down a little more and have it a little thinner to make sure that it gets in those little nooks and crannies and dries real good. But the key here, you want to have it watered down enough so when you actually brush your paint along your model, you don't see the paint strokes. That is the biggest benefit here, is you get better coverage and you don't see brush strokes. So be sure to have it watered down just enough, but not too much. So we've talked about the actual watering down of our paints, but there's a second part. And this is actually one of the questions from one of my subscribers named Rob. And he asked, does adding water to the paint affect the pigment of the paint at all? Like, diminish it? So the quick answer to that question is yes. It degrades the actual paints, and you do see diminishing results when you add so much water to your paints. And when you're adding water to this, it's actually breaking down the molecules of the actual pigment. So that means to you all out there, essentially you're going to have to keep adding more and more coats of paint, because it doesn't have that thick, vibrant pigment in it to just give a really good coverage as when you just take it right out of the bottle. But there's pros and cons to each side of it. So I'm like, well, then why would I even water my paints down? Because you don't see brush strokes when you add water. If you want to see brush strokes, then just ignore this video altogether and just keep squirting this in the paint tray and you are fine. But if you want high-end results with just craft paints for 99 cents a bottle, then water could be your friend. So I know I just said adding water degrades the molecules of the pigments, and you're going to have to paint it a lot more. So the other thing you can use is this, Flow Improver. If you don't want to use water and, break down your paint pigments, Flow Improver will do all of the things water does, but without breaking down the paint pigments. What it does is it just distributes the paint molecules throughout the liquid, but it doesn't break them down. So if you don't really want to diminish your acrylic paints, I would suggest Flow Improver. Now, Flow Improver isn't going to change the fact that you're going to need multiple coats, but you're not going to need as many coats. The negative thing about Flow Improver is I have noticed that it does make your paints wetter for longer. So it'll take a little longer for it to dry. So if you're doing like a wet blend, I always add some of this stuff in. It's fantastic. So the last thing I'll say about Flow Improver, it is not that cheap. It's like 20 bucks for this little bottle, but it does do a good job, and you can also dilute it. So I will actually get all of these different size bottles, and I won't use that one. I won't use that one for this, but I will use this and this for the Flow Improver. And what I'll do is I will fill this up to about here, about 20%, 15-20% of Flow Improver. Then I'll do the rest in water and just shake it up real good, and then I'll put a few drops in there because I like these because they've got good points to I actually can put a few drops in at a time. So I would highly recommend getting some of these if you decide to go the Flow Improver route. But water is perfectly fine. I probably, for the first year or two of me doing this, I actually never even bought a bottle of Flow Improver. I just like, yeah, water's good enough. So the next part I've been asked about is, what about paint thinners? Like, I was in one hobby and they're all like, paint thinner, paint thinner, paint thinner, and now in this hobby's like, just use water, you're gonna be fine. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I find out that this hobby is sometimes about what's the cheapest way that I can go so I can get the most expensive printer I can afford. It's one of those like, You can use a paint thinner, and paint thinners are just fine. Is just make sure they're acrylic paint thinners. And I will create my own paint thinners. I've bought paint thinners for my airbrush, but when it comes to like my desk and I'm just brushing things on, I just use water or flow improver. I just don't use the thinners because I find that I just like what the flow improver does, and everything that I do with water works perfectly fine. But that's the thing, I'm just trying to educate you guys on all of the different things there are available. Because there's another thing called medium that you can just use medium, and it will actually spread out your paints even farther. But my main goal here is just to kind of educate you guys on some different things that you might not have been aware of. And I would strongly encourage you to try to test these out if you can. And find what's better for you. There's no right or wrong here. That's the beautiful thing about this hobby. It's finding what works for you. So if you have any questions about 3D printing, painting 3D prints, painting your 3D printer, anything, go ahead and leave them in the comments below, and I will definitely try to answer every single question. But if I can't, I will actually make a video on that specific question, just like I did this one. Thank you to all my subscribers, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Other than that, I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.